parent connection to each other have continued to develop over the last couple of years a rivalry in postseason play. Whether it's hockey, football, baseball, basketball, or anything in between, the Chisago Lakes Wildcats and the Mahtomedi Zephyrs continue to do their storied battle. Tonight, the court is that of volleyball, with one team looking to find out if the third time is the charm. The number 2 seed, Chisago Lakes Wildcats, against the number 1 seed, Mahtomedi Zephyrs. You're on Suburban Community Channels, TV 19, and NSPN.TV. Hi, everybody. A very pleasant Wednesday evening to you across the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. My name is Alex Westhead. Our crew today here in Mahtomedi, in the truck, Kenny Ronan, David Schuyler, Michael Cudahy, and Joe Sigourney. Our camera operators today are Flora Schur, Ian Felix, and Seth Zabel. Today we have another opportunity, and it's rare in the volleyball side, rare in any high school sport for that matter, to see two teams play each other 3 times. That's what we're going to have here today, Mahtomedi and Chisago Lakes. They played on each other's home court, and perhaps the most odd thing about all of this, they're not even conference opponents. Chisago Lakes out of the Mississippi 8, Mahtomedi out of the Metro East Conference, but now here we are, these two teams playing each other for a third straight time, with the opportunity for one of the two to go and advance to the state tournament. The Mahtomedi Zephyrs, the number 1 seed in this section, look to return to the state tournament in volleyball and make another opportunity to make some noise while they are there. The Chisago Lakes Wildcats, meanwhile, they look to do the same and bring another section title to Chisago Lakes. You can see both teams will be wearing white tonight. Libero for the Zephyrs is in blue. For Chisago Lakes, their libero is in green. Starting lineup for today. The starting libero for Mahtomedi will be number 3, Claire Crothers. The rest of the starting lineup for Mahtomedi, Jalen Shaney, Shahar Ramali, Scarlett Poppelman, Louisa Tarnowski, Katie Hergen-Rader, and Stella Bossert will be the starting lineup for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, and head coach Tia Schlunk here tonight. For the Chisago Lakes Wildcats, their libero is number 1, Olivia Anderson. The rest of the starting lineup is number 11, Kate Friedner, number 12, Kayla Larson, number 13, Mariah Cave, number 15, Morgan Mayer, number 20, Nora Weiger, and number 17, Eliana Taylor, under their head coach, Hannah Lindstrom. How we got here in terms of the section seeding for volleyball, each of these teams, again, the number 1 seed. It was a bracket and a section that was relatively chalk throughout. The only upset, if you can call it that, was number 5 seed Como Park Panthers with an upset win over the 4 seed in this section. Otherwise, the rest of this bracket has been chalk all the way. We'll find out tonight if that holds for one final game and one final match, with an opportunity for one of the two teams to head to the state tournament. Section path 4, the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, St. Paul Johnson in straight sets, and then Como Park in straight sets. The most points that Mahtomedi had given up in a set in this section run is 12. Those are the last time out to St. Paul Como Park. Meanwhile, for Chisago Lakes, their run to the section final, a 3-0 win in straight sets over Minneapolis Edison, and a 3-1 win in the 2-3 matchup against the Hill Murray Pioneers, earning their ticket here tonight. These two teams have played twice already. Once here in Mahtomedi, that was a straight set win we were here for. The other is part of the Chisago Lakes Invitational, a 2-1 win and a close second set win for Chisago Lakes. And we'll see what, if anything, is different here today. We're underway, and this section final has begun. Sent over, third hit. Looking for the play as the libero Crothers sent it over and back down, blocked the line. A block by Nora Weiger picks up the first block of the night for Chisago Lakes. And they have the match's first point at 1-0. Anna Lindstrom watching on. Service begins now for Chisago Lakes. As 1-0. Set near pin. Tipped across and then saved on the opposite side by Friedner. Carlson over for Chisago Lakes. One more chance on it. Tapped over. Tarnowski and down, and the kill is picked up. Mahtomedi has their first point of the night. Tarnowski, the senior outside hitter. Not a lot of power, but enough to be able to tap it home for the point in the scene. Claire Crothers to serve. 1-1 in this opening set. And a service ace picked up by Mahtomedi early. A great service by the senior Claire Crothers. And not a ton of information available on the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Coming into this one today, just the schedule for Mahtomedi. No stats, no roster, no nothing. So we know a lot more about Chisago Lakes than we do about Mahtomedi, but we do know one thing about the Zephyrs. Well, they're pretty darn good at everything they do. On the third hit, driven down, beautiful kill on the far side pin. How about that? Kate Friedner picks up another kill, the first of the night for Chisago Lakes, and now we're still level 2-all. I was talking with David Schuyler about this one before the game and thinking about how, when you see the results so far, a 3-0 straight set sweep here in Mahtomedi in August is one thing. But as Friedner serves in this 2-all point, now this the third time, beautiful block added by Carlson on the line, but over the line, and a point for Mahtomedi. Well, that's the nice part about this, is that as the season goes on, your team evolves, your team changes, and so just because you beat a team by a straight set in one matchup, doesn't mean that that's going to be the case this time out. Bergen Raider across is 3 serves 2. Underneath, that was tipped out by Osmundson, back over on the third hit. On the set, the drive, down the seam it goes. And a nice kill on the far pin, keeps the rally alive for Mahtomedi. Kill picked up by Boniface Johnson for Mahtomedi. It'll be 4 serving 2. Service across, that one found the seam on the back line and an ace. Katie Hergenrader picks up the second Mahtomedi ace. Of course, we know volleyball, it's a sport of those runs too, getting those runs, keeping those runs, and using that momentum to serve. Hergenrader across, back into the mid area for Cave. Third hit is tapped over in the Section 4 3A final. And back over again. Friedner on the set, battle at the line as a joust. Ball falls right at the feet of the Chisago Lakes right side hitter Linnea Carlson. And down for another Mahtomedi point, their longest run of the night now at 4 straight points. Hergenrader to serve. That's 6 serves 2 in this opening set. Back over, saved by Tarnowski. Hergenrader, Tarnowski to drive and the kill. Third kill of the night, second for Tarnowski. The rally continues. Hergenrader continues the rally, now a 5-point longest of the night. 7 serves 2, opening set. Hergenrader across. On the dig, Anderson, tap back over, right at the line. A good attempt, first by Osmundson, then by Carlson to keep it alive for Chisago. But Tarnowski picks up another kill. Time out in the court as a 6-point run for Mahtomedi forces a timeout. It is 8-2 in favor of Mahtomedi here in set number 1. Again, the matchups between these two teams this year, in terms of recent playoff history, again, you look at the results where these two teams have been. Mahtomedi has been the 1 seed 2 out of the last 4 years. Chisago Lakes in their own right has been the 1 seed 2 out of the last 4 years. In terms of when each of these teams was in their respective spots, as there's the joust of the line by Tarnowski, and that play got made there. But in terms of when each seed was the 1, Mahtomedi has made the state tournament each time in 2024 and 2022. When Chisago Lakes was the number 1 seed in their section. In 2023, Chisago Lakes lost in the semifinal round to St. Paul Como Park. And then in 2021, when they were the number 1, they defeated Mahtomedi in the section final. Rally continues. Hergenrader across. Anderson on the dig. Set, near pin, Carlson, and another point on the block at the line. Tarnowski is having a great start to this set. See Chisago Lakes continuing to try to work the right side of the net, continue to try to set up Carlson for the big drive. And the service error there, that gives control back to Chisago Lakes. But you can see that every time they try to set up Carlson, Tarnowski is right at that line looking for that block. Olivia Anderson serves. Crothers a dig. Back up, Tarnowski blocked at the line and down. Tarnowski sent it right into that middle hitter and Eliana Taylor, but fortunately for Taylor, got a part of it, not all of it. It goes down. Now the service goes to Tarnowski. 10 serves 3. Back across. The line drive by Larson is blocked. Near pin, another chance for Carlson. Back towards the net and into it. And a point for Chisago Lakes as 9 will serve 4. If you're not familiar with the broadcast vantage point here in Mahtomedi, the student section does spill over just a little bit, which makes it incredibly difficult to see the scoreboard on the near side. Morgan Meyer to serve. 4 will serve 10. Molly was on the dig and now sent back over. Larson, back over. Larson with the kill, save Crothers, and it goes over for a point for Chisago Lakes. Wildcats continue to fight back. Now their longest run of the night. They've had 3 consecutive points. Look at them roll. Well timed on the jump. Well executed by Larson. 5 will serve 10. Tarnowski. Brothers went to go give it a look, but it's over for another Chisago Lakes point. And 6 serving 10 will be our next point. Dia Schlund, head coach of the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Watching on, service for Chisago Lakes. Meyer to serve. 6 serving 10. 1 dig. Set on the far pin for Boniface Johnson. Down a good save at first by Anderson, looking for the dig. But it goes over the sideline for a Zephyr point. And service back to Mahtomedi. Crothers is out. The player on now to serve. Jalen Shaney, the middle blocker, the senior, will serve. As 11 serves 6 in this opening set. Shaney across. 1 dig. Step back over, a block at the line, goes out of the field of play. Off of the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, point for Chisago Lakes. Following the drive by Kayla Larson. Good block at the line and block at the net by Mahtomedi, but it goes over the line. And a point for Chisago Lakes. Kayla Larson to serve. 7 serving 11. Tarnowski on the dig. Set by Hergenrader and then across the line. Mayer back across. The kill attempt by Larson was dug beautifully on the back line. Over. Great play made by Larson. Back far side. Larson again. Larson gets a set right back out. Back to the near pin. Tapped over by Weiger. Possession. Rally still staying alive. The kill is down. Zahar Ramali with the kill. 12-7 Zephyrs. Substitution Mahtomedi. Scarlett Poppelman is in. Claire Crothers is to the bench, as is Nora Boniface Johnson. Poppelman, the freshman outside hitter for Mahtomedi. 12 serving 7 first set. Poppelman goes right for Kayla Larson and picks up the ace. One thing you notice about the Mahtomedi Zephyr roster, at least in a perspective of age, you have an 8th grader and you have 4 9th graders on this roster. At this point of the year, I think everyone's experienced another ace indeed. As if to prove the point there, another ace picked up. Now substitutions will continue. And the rally will continue as well for Mahtomedi. 14-7 first set. Scarlett Poppelman back to serve. Long on off to the left side of her hand. It tails out of play. Mahtomedi picks up their second error of this opening set. And it will serve 14. Olivia Anderson is out. And back to serve Eliana Taylor, the middle hitter, 5'9" junior. Taylor across. Crothers a dig. Set near side pin. Down! And beautifully done. On the execution on the kill, Zahar Ramali picks it up. And we'll go back to serve. Zahar Ramali 15 serves 8. Anderson digs. Looking to set right at the line, and was the net hit? It was by Chisago Lakes, and as a result, point for Mahtomedi. 16 serving 8. Romeli goes back to serve. Zephyrs looking to take control of this first set if they haven't already. Setting for Larson, blocked at the line, and a good block at it by Hergenrader. Back across, Tarnowski finds it, but was long, and the point goes for Chisago Lakes. Substitutions now for Chisago Lakes into the game. Kiana Osmundson, she'll go back to serve. 9 serving 16. Osmundson, the center, 5'8" sophomore. 9 serve 16. Romeli with the dig, and the kill finished off. Kill in this possession goes to another freshman, Stella Bossert. And the freshmen have been showing up and showing out early here in this one. Right in the middle of the net, too. Perfect seam on that back line past Perry. Brothers to serve. As this goes across. Dig by Osmundson, towards the line, then back out. Responded to by Romeli. Near side pin, Tarnowski over, whistle, and a point given to the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Now they will continue to extend their lead in this set, 18-9. Serving 9. Dig by Perry towards the scorer's table and out. Another ace for Mahtomedi. They pick up their 4th now. And Carothers will go back to continue the rally. 19 serving 9. Longest rally of the night for Mahtomedi, 6 points. Chisago Lakes with an error in a rally of 3. And another ace is picked up by Mahtomedi, now on their 5th. As Anderson and Vanolkin both went for the ball, neither got possession of it. And as a result, a point for Mahtomedi, 20 to serve 9 here in this first set. Both teams in white, confusing perhaps for the neutral observer. Osmundson set up at the line, taken down, Mariah Cave. 6'1" senior picks up the kill for Chisago Lakes. That puts Chisago Lakes with 10. And we'll have a substitution to take place for the Wildcats. Kayla Larson is in and will send a player to the bench named Isabel Benolkin. 10 serving 20. Tarnowski looks to set back in the middle. Romeli found the seam on the back line. Zahara Romeli picks up another ace. Not an ace, that's a kill rather. She picks up her 4th substitution for Mahtomedi. As one of the players, the freshman Poppleman, will go to the bench back into the game. It's Boniface Johnson. Hergenrader to serve. 21 serves 10. Looking for the set. Larson sent it. Long point Zephyrs. Now Mahtomedi gets the point. They also get service back. Katie Hergenrader to serve. 22 serving 10. Larson a dig. Looks to get that set near side. Another good play by Crothers on the kill attempt by Carlson near pin. Osmundson, Anderson, back for Larson on the 3rd hit. Romeli looks to set it. The drive is down, the point for the Zephyrs. Jalen Shaney picks it up. 23 serving 10. Hergenrader back, 23 serving 10. On the 3rd hit, dropped down by Cave. Cave picks up the point for the Wildcats. So Cave picks up the point. She will sub out immediately. Eliana Taylor is back into the game for Chisago Lakes. 11 serving 23 in set number 1. Anderson to serve. Crothers kept alive. Hergenrader on the near side pin, put down by Boniface Johnson. Wildcats looking for the kill. Tapped over by one of Chisago Lakes' team. Now Tarnowski looks to respond. Anderson got a hand on it, but off of her hand toward the Chisago Lakes bench. It's set point for Mahtomedi in this opening set of play. And Mahtomedi will send In their rotation, the senior Luisa Tarnowski for her second time at the line. 24 serving 11, set point here. A dig, looks to set for Larson. The joust of the line falls down. The point is given to Chisago Lakes. So it'll be another set point here. As this time instead service will be given towards Chisago Lakes. It'll be Morgan Meyer, 5'5" senior center to serve. 12 serving 22, first set of play. Two teams met back here in August. The closest that Chisago Lakes got was 13 points in a set against Mahtomedi. The other two were dominant. The same was not the case in their meeting in September. Right back to the far pin. The kill attempt by Boniface Johnson is no good. Back here on the near pin, sent down by Weiger, and Wildcats keep it alive. Third hit sent over by Larson. Hergenrader, Ramiley blocked at the line, then fisted back over again by Hergenrader. Sent over. Tarnowski with the effort. Crothers keeps it alive. Third hit over. Hergenrader puts it across for Mahtomedi. On the set, Larson topped it out. Hergenrader to the dig. Crothers has it here near pin. Ramiley put it over. Anderson with a dig for the Wildcats. Third hit is sent over again. Hergenrader sent across and down for the kill. And the set. Mahtomedi wins 25-12 in set number 1. A set that was close early, but Mahtomedi started running away with it thanks to the 6-point run in service led by Katie Hergenrader. And the kill that finishes it off, Jalen Shaney picks it up again. Zephyrs lead 1-0. We'll be back for the start of the second set in just moments. You're watching Mahtomedi Volleyball on Suburban Community Channels TV 19.
My dad showcased a sense of love that I never had before. It felt like it was something that I've always wanted. I mean, he's not only my parent, like he's like my best friend.
Learn about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org.
My relationship with my dad, I've had many male figures in my life, but there's only been one that has taught me that it's okay to be silly, it's okay to feel small, it's okay to admit you need help. And with anything, I can always go to my dad.
Learn about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org.
This year, Mahtomedi and Chisago Lakes taking to the volleyball court against each other. Third time this year, the Zephyrs have had a 1-0 lead. As we head to the second set of play, Alex Westhead here from Mahtomedi High School on a beautiful night outdoors in the Twin Cities. And so nice to see everybody come inside tonight to see two great volleyball teams. Well, these two teams met back on August the 25th. It was just the second game of the year for the Zephyrs, but 6th for Chisago Lakes. First set, Lakes came out firing, had an 11-4 lead. Mahtomedi went on a 9-1 run to take a 13-2 advantage. Zephyrs would ride that momentum to a 25-18 first set win. Zephyrs never trailed in the second, but Chisago Lakes kept it close. Biggest lead throughout was 6. Mahtomedi won that set 25-20. And then set 3, closest one of the night. 7 ties starting at 13-13. Mahtomedi pulled ahead to win 22-21. Never looked back, winning 25-22 and a 3-0 straight set victory over Chisago Lakes. Zephyrs have 15 such straight set wins this season. Let's see if they have another one in them. Chisago Lakes will serve. Eliana Taylor begins set number 2. Amelie with the dig. Tarnowski sent it across long of the line. Chisago Lakes takes a 1-0 lead here in this second set and their first lead in a set tonight. Quick rotation for the Wildcats. Libero Olivia Anderson comes in. And let's take a look. There was a rule, something must have been called at the net because the ball clearly over the line. Point was to Mahtomedi, and so Crothers was in service now. The ball that was long, taken over. Romaley at the dig. Friedner back over. Cave with a put across. It's kept alive here by Hergenrader. Tarnowski with a drive down for the point. And the Zephyrs tie this back up, or at least I thought that they had. It's 2-0 Mahtomedi here in this second set of play on the kill by Tarnowski. I didn't see it there. There's a ball into the net, and there's a ball into the net there. Mahtomedi picks up their 3rd error of the night. Service error, Chisago Lakes gets the point. Substitution for the Wildcats. Kenna Osmundson is in. She'll replace Kayla Larson in this spot. Osmundson goes back to serve. And this will be 1 serving 2 in this second set of play. Osmundson, the 5'8" sophomore. Romaley back across at the line. Sent down by Hergenrader. Dig for the Wildcats opposite side. Back across goes Cave. Race for the ball is on. Hergenrader had it. Ran right into the scorer's table. And a point given to Chisago Lakes just as it was in set number 1. It is in set number 2, 2-2. With service coming from Chisago Lakes. Jana Osmundson. Tarnowski. Hit by Hergenrader, fisted across to a dig on the back line by Larson. Over on the hit by Cave. Hergenrader, Tarnowski, great dig by Anderson. Kept in the air by Friedner, back over, Tarnowski, Romaley, back on the 3rd hit, spun backwards by Poppelman. Osmundson, back across, down for the kill. Cave picks it up for Chisago Lakes. Wildcats have the lead on this kill by Mariah Cave. Smack dab middle of the net, attacking that right side, and Poppelman could only watch. Reserve 2, Tarnowski will tip it over, and dug out by Friedner. Back across, Friedner with the tip, and down the seam it goes. Point for the Wildcats, their run continues. Their 3.4-point run tonight is their longest here in this second set. Osmundson to serve, 4 serving 2, Wildcats second set. Romaley, ball was sent into the net. Tarnowski looked for the power on the near side, but Cheney was the one who put the ball right into the net and down. And this rally continues, a 5-point run for Chisago Lakes. Osmundson to continue to serve, 5 serving 2 in this second set. Poppelman, Crothers, Tarnowski to end the run. Tarnowski picks up the kill. Substitutions for Mahtomedi. Laura Boniface-Johnson is in. Poppelman goes to the bench for Mahtomedi and the Zephyrs. Hergenrader to serve. Remember, she started that rally in the first set, put Mahtomedi ahead. Romaley, Hergenrader set back across right into the middle. Beautiful dig by Osmundson. Anderson over, 3rd hit was kept alive by Crothers. Back over, joust the line. Send the ball back towards Chisago Lakeside. Another over by Carlson. Down it goes, and another point for Chisago Lakes as Tarnowski could not get to it, and neither could Cheney. Point Chisago Lakes, 6 will serve 3. Winning those jousts and what you do after those wins, so important in volleyball. We see it all the time. Hergenrader shoved over by Boniface-Johnson on the final hit. Back over. Cave sent it there, kept alive, but no much more to do with that. It turns into a Zephyr point and service for Tarnowski, as 4 will serve 6 in set number 2. What did I say? Joust at the line. How you handle them, how you respond to them. That's living proof of that. Bent over. Cave on the third hit. Pushed back across by Mahtomedi. At the line. Far side. Larson on the pin. Sent the ball back. Kept alive. Beautiful dig made by Osmundson. Sent back over again. Great rallies tonight between these two. Back over and in the field of play off of a player. And O'Malley picks up the point for Mahtomedi. 5 will serve 6. Zahara O'Malley in her service run put Mahtomedi in a good spot. And the finish here off the hands of the block attempt by Carlson. Cave put it over. Amundsen had a dig, and then it's sent back over far pin for Larson. Sent high, sent down, whistle, and we have a foul against Mahtomedi, not against Mahtomedi, against Chisago Lakes. That results in a Zephyr point in a rally that continues for Tarnowski, Louisa Tarnowski. All levels, 6-6 in the second set. Mahtomedi won the first set, 25-12. Tarnowski across, off the line, change up for the ace. Run for Mahtomedi is 4, 7 serving 6. Back across, Larson on the dig. Osmundson sets, Larson kills. There's been a lot of success on that far pin tonight, at least from our vantage point for Chisago Lakes. And Kayla Larson, the outside hitter, doing exactly what's in the job description. That outside hit there. 7-7, second set, back across, and there's another kill on the outside, and a beautiful job finished off for Mahtomedi and Katie Hergenrader. Rotation continues. Jalen Shaney to serve. Middle blocker senior. 8 serve 7. Osmundson sent it here, and the kill is made. And finished off by Linnea Carlson. Great block at the line attempt by Mahtomedi, but the kill picked up by Chisago Lake. Substitutions for the Wildcats. Mayer and Weiger are in. And Mayer will go back to serve as we're all level. 8-8 here in this second set. Brothers, the libero, is in. 8 serving 8, set number 2. Tarnowski back across towards the seam. The flag of the official did not go up. She had to move to get out of the way, and they will give the point to Chisago Lakes. And that puts the Wildcats back in front, 9-8. Nine serves 8. Tarnowski puts a dig, set back up and long on the attempt. It was a good setup by Hergenrader, but the sent across was just a tad long. Chisago Lakes retakes a 2-point lead, 10-8. Morgan Mayer to serve, 10 serving 8. O'Malley back across. O'Malley tries for the kill and gets a little assistance from Nora Weiger as that spin just sent it right down to the middle, and the kill for Mahtomedi. Substitution for the Zephyrs. Boniface Johnson to the bench. The outside hitter, Scarlett Poppelman, the freshman, comes in. Poppelman will serve as 9 serves 10 here in set number 2. Poppelman across. On the dig. And back across. Larson at the net. Fell in the field of play. Zephyrs on the block by Hergenrader. Pick up the point. And this back and forth set continues. A back and forth matchup in August. That's what we have here between these two today. Service was long. Out of the field of play. Service error for Mahtomedi, and that results in possession back to Chisago Lakes. We've had some really fun rallies tonight. Mahtomedi leading 1-0, trailing in the second set. Larson across. Brothers pushed over. Rameli tried the kill but couldn't get it to go. Mayer back across, block and town. The kill picked up by Kate Friedner. The Wildcats back in front, 12-10. Great contingent from Chisago Lakes. Another great point by the Wildcats. Service across. Brothers, Hergenrader back across. Rameli pushed it down and it found a seam. Point for Mahtomedi. So Rameli, that near pin has been excellent. Rameli will go back to serve. 11 serving 12, second set. On one dig. High into the air goes Weiger. Back across, sent over by Friedner and down. The kill picked up. And well delivered by Kate Friedner, the 5'9" senior. Kill picked up for Chisago Lakes, their fourth here in this second set. And they retake a 2-point lead, 13-11. Service back to Chisago Lakes. Be Eliana Taylor to serve. Tapped over, well-read play. Kate Hergenrader picks up the kill. For Mahtomedi, they have their fifth. They have their fifth in back-to-back sets. Mahtomedi's service returns to its outset for Claire Crothers. 12 serving 13. Mayer sent it back up at the line for Mariah Cave, saved and kept alive. Back across on the third hit, Hergenrader. Crothers, then back over Tarnowski. Anderson the dig for the Wildcats. Put it back over for Mayer, back far pin, and down. A beautiful kill, finished off by Kayla Larson for the Wildcats. Substitution for Chisago Lakes. Kiana Osmundson goes back to serve. We'll have the chance here, 14 serving 12, to really put Chisago Lakes in front. Rameli, Hergenrader, put over by Tarnowski, or at least attempted to. Did not be able to do so, and as a result, a point given to Chisago Lakes, and this rally will continue. Osmundson to serve, 15 serving 12. Wildcats looking to even up this match, and it's set apiece. Tarnowski over, dive attempt by Anderson, but couldn't get it in time. It's down, point Mahtomedi. Great effort by Anderson, but just couldn't get the hand under in time before it hit the court. Substitution now for Mahtomedi. Poppelman is out. Back to serve, Hergenrader. 13 serving 15, second set. Anderson with the Wildcat dig. Back across by Larson. Tipped over and tapped over by Linnea Carlson. Back to the middle, sent back down, blocked by Carlson. Carlson sent it over, and it's stuck by Rameli back on the far side. Tarnowski over on the third hit. Back to it goes Larson for the Wildcats. Osmundson has it. Anderson over on their third hit. Back over, right to the middle, sent down, looking for the kill is Boniface Johnson, and still they keep it alive. Friedner, back over, near pin, Tarnowski with the kill. 10 kills on the scoreboard for Luisa Tarnowski. And that one after another fantastic rally tonight. 14 serving 15. Hergenrader across. Larson back over. Cave at the line, sent it down. Mariah Cave picks up the kill, picks up the point for Chisago Lakes. The 2-point lead restored. 16-14 Wildcats. They'll have service again. Kate Friedner to serve. Just Friedner, not Friedner. 16-14. Hergenrader, far pin, sent over. Tarnowski looked to pick up the point and did. Tarnowski an 11th kill for number 11. She'll go back to serve. 1-point lead for the Wildcats in this set. 15 serving 16. Tarnowski. Anderson digs for Chisago Lakes. Set up and then, whoa, ho, ho, ho. How about the power? In the middle of the net, Mariah Cave picks up the kill. Well, it may have taken Chisago Lakes a set to warm up. but it appears the Wildcats have. Anderson serves, 17 serving 15. Bergen Raider across, whistle, and a net violation gives a point to Chisago Lakes. Their lead is back to 3. Neither team has used their timeout here, second set. And Anderson will serve, 18 serving 15. Brothers, and back over and into the net. An error by Tarnowski. And the lead is 4 point, and timeout will be taken as the Zephyrs trail in this second set, 19-15. That's the joy of volleyball. Sometimes you're ahead, sometimes you're behind. And that rally can go so fast one way or another. The timeout taken. Chisago Lakes 19, Mahtomedi 15. Chisago Lakes this year finished 4th of the 9 teams in the Mississippi 8 Conference. They finished 4-4 in the Mississippi 8. Meanwhile, Mahtomedi in the Metro East Conference, in terms of where they finished, and it's a Metro East Conference that has a great number of schools. Hill Murray is good. You know, all these other different schools are good in terms of the Metro East. So for Mahtomedi, no matter the sport, but in that Metro East Conference, to continue to be as good as they are, just a great athletic program. Anderson serves, 19 serves 15. The error goes long. That's the first error of the game, at least by my tally, for Chisago Lakes. And service will be given right back. Brothers to the bench for Mahtomedi. Jalen Shaney in to serve, 16 serving 19. Here in set number 2. Shaney across, and that one is long. Error for Mahtomedi. Point for Chisago Lakes. And it's 20-16 in this set. Morgan Mayer is back in. She will retreat to serve. 20 will serve 15 in the second set here tonight. Mayer across. Tarnowski on a dig. Jousted the line. Won by Taylor. She sends it down. Taylor at 5'9", climbs the ladder, taps it down, point Chisago Lakes. And into the net on the service by Mayer. Zephyrs pick up the point. It's 21-17, Chisago Lakes second set. Nora Boniface-Johnson, a junior opposite hitter. Into serve, 17 serves 21. Anderson digs. Set by Mayer, back on the far pin, a beautiful dig. Tarnowski sent back over on it to the Chisago Lakes side. Whistle and a point to the Zephyrs on the net violation by Chisago Lakes. It looked close to the net. I'd have to see it again. But either way, the point goes to Mahtomedi and service stays with the Zephyrs. Boniface-Johnson across, and an ace picked up for the Zephyrs. Second ace of the set for Mahtomedi. It's picked up by Nora Boniface-Johnson. And 21-19 is the lead for Chisago Lakes. 19 serving 21. Long. 22 points on the board for Chisago Lakes. They will take service back. There'll be a substitution for Mahtomedi as a result. As Boniface-Johnson goes to the bench, Scarlett Poppelman is in. Kayla Larson to serve, 22 serving 19. Brothers the dig, set up, looking for the kill was Ramali, but couldn't get it to go, and unable to keep it alive is Poppelman, 23-19, Chisago Lakes. And Mahtomedi will take time out, much to the delight of the dark green and Vegas gold. 23-19, our score in the second set of play. Now, in terms of other matches that are going on tonight to determine state tournament berths, taking a look across the state of Minnesota, it's a 3-set final. ESCO 3-0 over Greenway in Section 7's semifinal between the number 2 North seed and the number 1 South seed. Elsewhere, matches that are starting at the top of the 7 o'clock hour. Delano will host Benilde St. Margaret's in Section 6. Stillwater hosts Roseville in Section 4. Apple Valley will host Bloomington Jefferson. Big Lake and Zimmerman will be at Zimmerman in a 3-1 matchup in Section 5. Otherwise, the other game that is currently ongoing, Northwoods and South Ridge at Rock Ridge High School in Section 7-1A. That's the other match that's going on as of this time. Play back over. Paul was down in the field of play, and that results in a point for Mahtomedi. Now the Zephyrs, if they want to be able to force this into the back and forth dance that happens late in these sets here, will need to go on a little rally. Mahtomedi, 23 serving 20. Big by Mayer, back across and long into the student section. Point for Mahtomedi. Zephyr students spilling out onto the court. 21 serving 23, and a service error by Mahtomedi. Set point, Chisago Lakes. Taylor to serve for the set. That one goes long. Mahtomedi keeps their hopes alive in set number 2. It's 24-22. Cheney is in. Bossert to the bench. Service to be delivered by Claire Crothers. 22 serving 24. Crothers across. On one dig. Mayer will set up Cave at the line. Beautiful joust tipped over and down by Tarnowski, and the set stays alive. 23-24. Crothers to serve, 23 serving 24. Anderson with a dig, sent back over far pin. Larson, dig by Rameli. Great run on it by Hergenrader. Back over Tarnowski on the third hit. Looking to set Cave. Cave put it over and a dig by Poppelman. Back over near pin. Tarnowski is in. 24-24, set number 2. Well, Chisago Lake students are fired up, but as are the Zephyrs. On this kill by Tarnowski. Look at that backspin, too. Wild service by Tarnowski that just spun and bit into that corner. Nasty, nasty response by Luisa Tarnowski. Not bad at all. And now you must win by 2. We're 24-24 in set number 2. Claire Crothers continues her rally. Zephyrs have had a rally as long as 4 in this set. A rally of 2 will win it. Anderson on the dig. Mayer back over, joust to the line, won by Mahtomedi. Chisago was able to get back to it. Hergenrader back across near pin. Tarnowski, good dig by O'Malley and down. And now another set point for Chisago Lakes, as they were able to keep that play alive but couldn't send it back over. And Chisago Lakes not only needing the point, they will also have service with a chance to win the set. Kiana Osmondson will go back to serve. 25 serving 24, second set. Kiana Osmondson, the 5'8" sophomore. O'Malley the dig, sent back up at the line. Tarnowski tips it over and unable to find the seam. The third hit back over. What a great effort by Mariah Cave. Back across, tapped by Friedner and down the set to the Wildcats. What a effort by Chisago Lakes as they hold on to the second set, and this kill capped off by Kate Friedner to win the set for Chisago Lakes. So here we go. Second set is over. We're level at a set apiece. We head to the third set next. Here in the Section 4 3A final, you're watching Mahtomedi Girls Volleyball on Suburban Community Channels TV 19.
Sit up, team. When I look around this room, I see a fighting team of brave antibodies. But the flu is coming in strong, so I won't sugarcoat it. I need each one of you on your A game. The good news is, Anthony, the human body we've been tasked to protect, just got his flu shot, which supplied us with brand new gear to defend against the flu. That's right, we've upgraded our game with this new equipment. They give you a little extra boost. So let's go fight for Anthony, for his mom, his co-workers, that nice lady Patricia that lives down the street with the cute dog. In the face of viral adversity, we make Anthony thrive so he can protect himself and the people he loves most. Are you with me? Yeah!
Let's work as a team to defend against the flu. Gear up with a flu shot to help protect others and reduce your risk of being sick or hospitalized with the flu. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
We saw the flu shot huddle. You're looking at the huddle of the Mahtomedi Zephyrs now winning a first set 25-12. But Chisago Lakes in a very entertaining back and forth second set. Now they've leveled it up 1-1 after 2 sets of play. And the stars for both of these teams had to come out and play today. We've seen that both ways. There's a kill by Luisa Tarnowski, one of 13 that she has on the night. And another back on the opposite side. At the front line for Chisago Lakes, it's been Cave, it's been Friedner, it's been Larson. They've been making some really strong plays. The jousts at the net have been great. Everything has been great in this match tonight. And what more would you want in a section final? How about that? 2 teams that are going back and forth and continue to fight for a chance to extend their season and a chance to qualify for a state tournament. Mahtomedi has done so 3 straight times. Chisago Lakes looking for their first trip since 2021. Kills have been spectacular all night long. But what will we have in set number 3? Last time these 2 teams played each other in Chisago Lakes, yes, it was a best of 3. But the storyline then, similar to now, where that first set was heavily in favor of Mahtomedi. The second was a close win for Chisago Lakes. The third set was close as well, albeit only to 15. Cave tried to send the ball right across the net, but sent it right into it instead. Point for Mahtomedi, they lead 1-0. Best of 15 in that third set in a 3-set game. So the final score of that one was 15-8. Service error delivered by Rebele. Point for Chisago Lakes. Second half stats, or second set stats rather, that I have. Chisago Lakes Wildcats I had for 6 kills, errors 3, long run of 5. Mahtomedi had 6 kills, 2 aces, 5 errors, and a long run of 4. Here's Chisago Lakes to serve, 1 serving 1. Back across, long, and over the line, but they will rule that it was touched by a Zephyr. And a point to Chisago Lakes, much to the chagrin of Eric Poppelman, among others. There is an advantage to being the only people in the building that have access to replay. I say that every high school game that I do. Let's see, you make the call. Whistle, court violation, and what do we have here? Violation against Mahtomedi gives Chisago Lakes another point. Rally continues for Chisago Lakes. Crosses 3, served 1. Looking for Tarnowski. The block, the line is long, And just in the field of play, Chisago Lakes another point in this set. They lead 4-1. If there is momentum in athletics, it is on the side of the green and gold of Chisago Lakes. Osmondson to serve. 4 serving 1, third set. Brothers. Ergenrader. Tarnowski back across. Osmondson kept it alive. Tap back over. Play alive by Anderson, but right to the coaching staff of Chisago Lakes. And Vince Klosner for a point for Mahtomedi. Claire Crothers back to serve for, will have to defend 2. In this third set, level at a set apiece. On the third hit, pushed over by Carlson. Crothers a dig. Ergenrader sets back up Tarnowski, sends it down, does Tarnowski. For the kill right to Kiana Amundsen. And Tarnowski continues to deliver tonight for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Brothers back to serve. Anderson a dig. One more hit by Osmondson, sent over on the third by Friedner. Back over, shouts to the line, tapped over, in play, and legal. Tarnowski picks up the point. Point for the Zephyrs. The rally is now on for Mahtomedi. Longest run of the night for either team has been Mahtomedi. They had a 6-point run in the opening set. It's kind of the idea of the back and forth match that we've had. But back over at the line. Osmondson sent over, blocked at the line and down. Jalen Shaney, with the assistance of Katie Ergenrader, picks up a beautiful block. And the point for Mahtomedi, they take a lead, 5-4. Five serves 4. On a dig, an ace for Mahtomedi. And this rally continues. Now as 6 will serve 4. Brothers across. Big Anderson. Osmondson looks to set back over Cave on the third hit. Ball is blocked to the line and down. Another point for Mahtomedi on a block. They pick up their 7th of this set. Time out on the court with a 7-4 lead for Mahtomedi in set number 3, as what else? Back and forth they go in this set. Previous 10 matchups between these two. Take a look at this last play for a block at the line by Cave, and it's really not just 1 or 2. It's all 3 of that front line between Tarnowski, Shaney, and then Ergenrader that combined for that block. Recent matchups between these two, Mahtomedi's won 4 in a row, dating back to September of 2024 at the Wildcat Volleyball Invitational. Last time Chisago Lakes defeated Mahtomedi was September 30th of 2023 in that Invitational. Last time Chisago Lakes beat Mahtomedi in a best of 5. November 4th, 2021, the Section 4-3A final, a 5-set thriller, 3-2. Brothers to continue the rally. 7 will serve 4. At this point, Mahtomedi is tied their longest rally of the game. Back across. Tarnowski with a dig. Ergenrader set back up, and a block on the line is made by Cave for a Chisago Lakes point. So the rally will end after the block by Cave. Ryan Cave, 6'1". Now with all of the Zephyrs up on that front side, with enough strength on that block, it just sends it right back over. Tarnowski over and down for the kill. Substitution for Mahtomedi. Boniface Johnson is back in. The 8th grader McKenna Corus will go to the bench for the time being for Mahtomedi. Katie Ergenrader to serve. 8 serves 5, third set. Anderson a dig. Put back over, right at the pin. Cave at the line, whistle will blow. Double hit is called against Mahtomedi. Chisago Lakes gets the point. That puts it 8-6 here in set number 3. Cave to the bench. In comes Eliana Taylor. Olivia Anderson, 5'3" sophomore libero to serve. 6 serves 8. Brothers the dig. Hergenrader looks to set up on the third hit over. Beautiful dig back on the Chisago Lakes side. Anderson into the net. Saved by Boniface Johnson for Mahtomedi. Tarnowski back over. Another great play out of nowhere from Chisago Lakes. Tipped at the line. Taylor down. Point Mahtomedi. Great athleticism on that play. They didn't get the point for it, but the athleticism by Carlson, Taylor, and Osmondson. Excellent just to keep that alive. 9-6 Mahtomedi. Luisa Tarnowski to serve. On a dig, Anderson after the dig by Larson. Back over, Tarnowski. Hergenrader sets back up on the far pin. Sent down, Anderson keeps it alive. And the lift over the pin will be called, resulting in a point for Mahtomedi. Such a fine line on that pin on the near side. So tough to be able to tie that line well, but still be within the field of play. Carlson over and into the net for a point for Mahtomedi. The Zephyrs have their largest lead now. They have a 5-point lead. Set number 3. Tarnowski to serve. 11 serving 6. On a dig by Friedner. Back over. Friedner will tip it over. The joust of the line was won by Hergenrader, then sent back over again. Hergenrader keeps it alive. Sent over. Ramali down. Ramali picks up the kill. And the point will go to Mahtomedi. The rally for Tarnowski continues. Near pin, lethal for Ramali. Attack error on service by Tarnowski. This will go back onto the other side. Substitutes going to the bench now on each respective side. Morgan Mayer will go back to serve, the senior 5'5" setter for Chisago Lakes. More Wildcat students coming in behind her. Whistle and a point for Mahtomedi, as the rotation was not legal for Chisago Lakes. They look to their coach, Hannah Lindstrom, and just as what happened to Mahtomedi earlier on in this set happens here to Chisago Lakes. Service for Mahtomedi, Jalen Shaney. 13 serving 7, set number 3. Shaney back across. That one's long over the line. Service error for Mahtomedi. Point Chisago Lakes. And quickly the substitution. Shaney out, Crothers in. 13 defending against 8. Kayla Larson back to serve for Chisago Lakes. Tarnowski, Hergenrader back over. Ramali sent it across, but dug by Chisago on the other side. Weiger back over. Mayer back over, and again on the far pin, dug out by Crothers. Hergenrader, Ramali blocked to the line beautifully by Weiger. Crothers off the net, kept it alive. Ramali looks for the kill. Beautiful dig back line by Larson. Back over, looking for the kill. Friedner sends it down. Friedner picks up the kill on the far pin, and the point to Chisago Lakes. Larson serve. Ramali the dig. Put back over. Kill made by Nora. Boniface Johnson, the opposite hitter, picks up the point for Mahtomedi. It's 14 serving 9. They'll go back to serve as this rally will continue. Boniface Johnson to serve. 14 serving 9. On a dig, good effort to get to it on the second hit as Larson just put it up. Didn't really put much angle forward on it, but instead Friedner is one who comes back to make the play. We will take time out. And a timeout will be called in this third set, 15-9 in set number 3 between Mahtomedi and Chisago Lakes and the Wildcats. Yeah, we'll take a look at some of the other scores from across the Minnesota State High School League as games continue to progress over the course of this evening. 15-9 here in set number 3. Mahtomedi again won set number 1, 25-12. Chisago Lakes won set number 2 by a 26-24 tally, as those two teams went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth indeed. You know, talking about Mahtomedi too, when Chisago Lakes won that second set, it was a rare mark for them. As you see the section bracket here, Mahtomedi had not lost a single set in the section seeding. And in fact, when you look all the way back in their schedule, they hadn't lost a set in any fashion since October the 13th at Spring Lake Park in a 5-2 straight set win. Of course, sports, we talk about resiliency. It's one of the great lessons that you can learn from high school athletics. How do you bounce back when things don't go your way? Well, Mahtomedi seems to be liking the response that they have shown so far. 15 serving 9, third set. Boniface Johnson. Right into the middle and across. And an ace to begin after the time out. Not too shabby indeed. And the more aces Mahtomedi can pick up, the happier they'll be. 10-1, they lead that category right now. 16 serving 9. Mayer back across, pushed over by Friedner. Back at the line, jousted 4-1. Kill picked up by Mahtomedi. Sahar Rameli picks it up right in the right spot where she needed to be. He picks up the point for Mahtomedi. Back to the line go the Zephyrs. Boniface Johnson sent it back to the near side of the field and then back over once more for the kill attempt. Johnson line is won by Mahtomedi. Rameli back over Tarnowski into the middle and in the field of play. Oh, Louisa Tarnowski just has that great touch to find those back corner seams. She picks the pocket again. (18 serving 9 has begun. Weiger found the seam herself on that far corner. And puts the Wildcats in double digits, 18-10. Substitution now. Cave back in, Anderson to the bench for Chisago Lakes. To serve for the Wildcats goes Eliana Taylor, 10 serving 18. Here in set number 3. Taylor across, Tarnowski a dig. Back at the line, Cave sent it over, it was blocked right at it by Hergenrader. Hergenrader comes to it, Rameli sent it off the top of the net and over into the field of play. Larson sent it again, and it found the seam, but was long on it. And as a result, Mahtomedi picks up the point. It's 19-10. Service continues for the Zephyrs. Sahar Rameli to serve, 19 serving 10. Rameli goes across. Good dig made by Larson and then back over on the third hit by Friedner. Look to set here. Does Chorus on the near pin. Tarnowski again. Tarnowski has been excellent. She picks up another point, 20-10 Zephyrs in set number 3. 34 kills to 14. And another by Tarnowski there. On that serve, it's far off the hand of a Wildcat and over. Point for Mahtomedi. And Rameli will continue to do her service as 21 will serve 10. Rameli across. A dig by Cave. Back over. Weiger dug by Rameli. Hergenrader near pin. Tarnowski sends it home. The stars are shining in set number 3 for the Mahtomedi blue and gold. Rameli across. That one's dug out on the far side by Ben Olkin. Tarnowski, Hergenrader back for Rameli. Found the seam in the corner. The rally continues. And Rameli goes back to serve, 23 serving 10. Rameli across, off the top of the net. Van Olken keeps it alive. Over on the third by Friedner. Bergen Raider, near pin. Tarnowski tried the kill, and off of Anderson, it goes back to the Mahtomedi side. Tarnowski over, long, point, Chisago Lakes. And substitutes will happen here with 23-11 our score here in set number 3. Chisago Lakes makes their substitutions. Carlson is back in for the Wildcats, as is the one in service, Kiana Osmondson. 11 will serve 23, set number 3. Crothers, Bergen Raider, back across, tap over and down. Stella Bossert with the fine touch to push it into the field of play. Point for Mahtomedi. Bossert to the bench. Cheney is back in. Service now for Mahtomedi. At the top of their lineup, Claire Carruthers. Set point, 24-11. Anderson a dig. Set back up by Osmondson. Cave pushed it over and down, keeping the set alive for Chisago Lakes, as Mariah Cave picks up another point in this set. Nice block at the line, but not quite enough. Service across. Another set point for Mahtomedi. Tarnowski looks to end it and does. Tarnowski picks up the kill. 25-12 Mahtomedi, and the Zephyrs 25 points away from a 4th straight state tournament trip. The third set very much like the first. Back and forth at the beginning, but the Zephyrs ran away in the end. We'll be back for the start of the 4th set in just moments. 2-1 Mahtomedi. After 3 sets of play, you're watching your home for Mahtomedi Zephyr Girls Volleyball. Town Square, not Town Square, Suburban Community Channels, TV 19.
Mom, did you really need to buy 2 can openers for our emergency kit?
I can't help it. They're 2 for 1. What's this?
We need to keep our family communication plan safe in case of an emergency.
Thanks, Tita. Oh, man.
Well, good thing we kept all the lights we used for the volley.
I've got the battery pack.
Keep my phone powered so we don't miss any alerts.
What about game night?
Sounds good.
Oh, we have to get to Mom and Dad's and get them somewhere safe. I've got the evacuation route loaded on my phone.
I've got an updated list of Dad's meds.
And I've got just what we need to get them to take this seriously.
If that doesn't convince them that we thought this through, I don't know what would.
Start a conversation with your family and plan together for emergencies.
Conversation has been started here in Mahtomedi, not just about emergency preparedness, but now perhaps a trip down to St. Paul or Minneapolis, as the Mahtomedi Zephyrs just 25 points away from making that a reality. Good back and forth between these two teams as play began in set number 3. Much like the second set, that good back and forth. Chisago Lakes had a 4-1 lead in that third set, but then Mahtomedi, on a run that was led by Claire Crothers, continued to take control, continued to take charge, and really ran away with that third set, winning as they did in the first set, 25-12 over the Chisago Lakes Wildcats. It wasn't just Tarnowski leading the way for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. It was the other players as well. Bergen Raider with a great set. Boniface Johnson with a great set. Cheney with a great set. It's not to say again that Chisago Lakes hadn't been putting the effort in and hadn't been close. Examples there on that kill by Tarnowski. The effort was there, the positioning was there, but just a little bit more stronger on the power than what Chisago Lakes could respond to. And even though, again, it's a 25-12 third set as it was in the first, I'm sure the message from Tia Schlund and Danny Wise on your screen right there with just out of the corner of your view, Eric Poppelman. But the message, I'm sure, it's a brand new set. They take this one, well, we're going to a fifth. So start from in front. They'll try to here on this serve by Eliana Taylor. Fourth set of play. Tarnowski to do so. Tarnowski picks up her 21st kill of the night for Mahtomedi. And just excellent positioning on the back line again. Crothers on it for Anderson. Sent back over on the recovery by Mayer. Pushed back over. Kept alive here for Hergenrader. Back over, they'll tip it over again. Kept alive on the third hit, high into the air it goes. Kate Friedner as it went over the pin for a point for Mahtomedi. I find it fascinating too that this is obviously it's a section final, but also that they bring in the other officials as well. Brothers in service, 2 will serve 0. Back over, Cave towards the line and down, and the Wildcats pick up a point. It's 2-1. But it's so fascinating how throughout the regular season you see the parent rotation, you see the fan participation as the corner judges here. I'm obviously not sure that that's a correct term for them. But you see them here as Minnesota State High School League officials. But in the regular season, well, irregular officials. Ball back over, tipped over. Shaney picks up the kill. And Mahtomedi will lead this set 3-1. Substitution for Mahtomedi. Boniface Johnson is in. McKenna Corris will go to the bench. Back to serve, Kate Hergenrader. And the Zephyrs will lead this second set. Not the second set, fourth set by a tally of 3-1. Hergenrader across. Dug at the line. Cave back over, tapped over. And a great response by Rameli. Back over again and straight down. Cave right on top of it. And the point picked up by Chisago Lakes. It's 3-2. And service will go back for Chisago Lakes. Kate Friedner, the 5'9" senior, to do so. Friedner across. Brothers a dig. Hergenrader looks to set for, once again, Tarnowski, but couldn't quite do so. That ball is over the pin on the chance to save it, and as a result, point for Mahtomedi and the Zephyrs. Great run coming across the court to the near side here for Linnea Carlson, but off of her hands over the pin. And as a result, point given to Mahtomedi. Luisa Tarnowski, 4 serves 2. Anderson. Set by Osmondson. Cave tried to tap at the line. Anderson with a dig once again. Back on the far side. Jousted the line, won by the Zephyrs. Tapped out of the air. Osmondson back over. Whistle will blow, and it'll be a 4th hit on Mahtomedi. Either way, point for Chisago Lakes. And volleyball not a sport that I do frequently, so I'll do the best that I can. Back it goes. Libero Olivia Anderson will serve. 3 will serve 4. Set number 4. Anderson over. Tarnowski with a dig. Carruthers into the middle and over by Rameli. Set up here. They'll go with pace. Back over. Joust at the line is 1, and the kill for Kayla Larson. And we're all tied 4 points to 4 in set number 4. Brothers on the second hit. Rameli near pin, tapped over, good save on it by Larson, another good save by Weiger. Crothers, Hergenrader pushed it over and down just in front of Olivia Anderson for a Mahtomedi Zephyr point. Crothers is out, there'll be a substitution now. Shaney to the bench, and she'll be replaced by Caitlin Glazer. As Glazer will make her first appearance on the night. She will serve 5 serving 4, set number 4. Glazer to serve. On the dig by Larson. Anderson looks to set Larson on the third hit. Joust at the line and almost in the play by Tarnowski. But over it goes, point for Chisago Lakes. Level 5 all. Quick substitution. Shaney is out. Glazer is back out. And it's Shaney who's back in and just out of the reach of Tarnowski. Service by Chisago Lakes. Following a large-scale substitution for the Wildcats, Morgan Mayer back to serve, 5-5. 5-5, Mayer serves. Across. Hergenrader back over. Sent down for the kill. Nora Boniface-Johnson. And the Zephyrs retake the lead, 6-5, set 4. Near pin, far pin, doesn't matter tonight for Mahtomedi. Those kills have been there. Across on the third. Brothers, Hergenrader, Romeli found the seam in the middle. 2-point lead for the Zephyrs at 7-5. Quick score from another match across the Twin Cities, Roseville and Stillwater, with Roseville leading their first set 6-1. Back across here, Anderson looks to set onto the pin, back to the far side, was looking for Larson, they couldn't set it. Hergenrader back across the middle, Tarnowski, the joust at the line, that's kept alive. On the third hit, sent over by Weiger. Hergenrader, near side, Romeli into the pin, point for Chisago Lakes. Now the pin is there for the reason. Not just a cool term, has that purpose. Ball needs to stay within the field of play while it's going over the net. 6-7. Hergenrader pushed over. Great dig made by Mayer. Brothers, near pin, Romeli, and to the near side it goes for a Mahtomedi Zephyr point. Point for the Zephyrs. Zahar Romeli to serve, 8-6 in set number 4. Zephyrs 17 points away. Mayer back across, blocked to the line beautifully by Stella Bosser. Onto the near pin, Weiger over, Crothers. Get back over, chance on it, good dig by Anderson and back over, Mayer across. Back tapped over and down, Zephyrs pick up the point. And they will now lead 9-6. They just find a way to keep those points alive. Kennakoris did exactly that. Picked up the point for the Zephyrs. Back across, Weiger the block at the line and hit 3 Zephyrs on the way going down. And a good point picked up by Nora Weiger, the 5'8" junior. And it's a 2-point lead in this set. Service now, Eliana Taylor goes back, 7-9. Taylor across, Tarnowski with a dig. Hergenrader back for Tarnowski, blocked at the line and over the pin for a Zephyr point. Claire Crothers to it. She will serve, 10-7, set number 4. Crothers, the senior libero across, 10-7. A dig here. Set, far pin, Cave picks it up for Chisago Lakes. There'll be substitutions here now for both sides. And now going back to serve for Chisago Lakes, Kiana Osmundson. Eight serving 10. Osmundson in the middle. Carruthers a dig. Back over, jostle the line between Cave and Hergenrader. Keep it alive on the Mahtomedi side. Then back over. Sent over, and a good play made by Carlson, and miscommunication between Carruthers and Tarnowski as both faded back. Both was trying to let the other one take the ball. As a result, that extra space sent the ball straight down. Point given to Chisago Lakes. 9-10. Kiana Osmundson across. Tarnowski on the dig. Hergenrader, Tarnowski tapped it over, and a good reach for the ball by Osmundson near the near side pin and kept alive by Carruthers. Hergenrader, Tarnowski into the net, point Chisago Lakes, and we're tied up 10 points apiece in set number 4. Wildcats are loud. Osmundson to serve in a 10-all game. Back over. Looking for Shaney. Good dig by Anderson. Back across at the line. The joust is on. The save is made by Crothers. Tarnowski over in the field of play. Back over. Cave. Town for the kill. Chisago Lakes leads 11-10. Now, what more are we going to see in this great match? Kiana Osmondson continues to rally for Chisago Lakes. There's an extended conversation between the official right at the scorer's table. Officials are connected via a headset. As now there's a manager who is going over, and all of a sudden here comes Annika Souter, the team manager. Athletic director Aaron Forsyth is headed over as there is some what can only be described as pom-pom on the ground. Some students stepping out of the bleachers to assist Mr. Forsyth in the cleanup duties. As I imagine on this side, not so much a challenge for Chisago Lakes, but more so for Mahtomedi. So the directive was given in order to make that area a little cleaner. You see Mr. Forsyth heading off of our camera now. And after that cleanup delay, we can continue 11 serving 10, fourth set. Osmondson to serve. Romaley with a dig. Play at the line, kept alive. Anderson on another great play. Run for it is on for Larson, but too far for her. And we're tied again, 11-all. Horace out. Boniface Johnson is in. Katie Hergengrader back to serve. 11-all. Set number 4. Larson to dig. Set by Osmondson, back over, and a seam has been found, and it's delivered to Kate Friedner. Another point for Chisago Lakes. It's 12-11 in set number 4 for Chisago Lakes. Ball will go back in service for Kate Friedner. 12 serving 11, set number 4. Friedner across. Romaley with a dig. Hergengrader looks to set Tarnowski. Trying to find the seam, but the effort was made by Linnea Carlson. Hergengrader looking to set up a kill. Anderson kept it alive and did so as Osmondson sent it back over. Tarnowski. Hergengrader sets up near pin. The drive, the kill. Tarnowski off the arm of Mariah Cave. We are level at 12. Zephyrs will go back to serve. Louisa Tarnowski. Tarnowski serves. Anderson digs. Osmondson back over the third, hit into the net by Kate Friedner. Point Mahtomedi. And the Zephyrs retake the lead here in set number 4. Tarnowski will continue the rally for Mahtomedi. On the near side pin, Tarnowski across. Dig by Anderson. It's kept alive. Osmondson back to the far pin, into the net. Another attack error by Chisago Lakes. It'll be Friedner once again. And the lead for the Zephyrs is 2, 14, 12, 11 points for Mahtomedi to go. Tarnowski across. Anderson and Larson combine on the dig. Cave looking for the kill. Tarnowski picks it up on the other side. Hergengrader tapped over beautifully by Shaney for the point. The lead is 3, 10 points to go. I love it when they draw up the power, but then come back with the opposite hand and go off speed. Oh, there might not be anything better in sports than that. Tarnowski 15 serve 12, another kill. That time the power knocks down the defender Friedner. Back across Larson, dig by Tarnowski. Hergengrader set up, Romaley long on it. And Romaley's looking to the corner official, looking for contact somewhere. No contact was called, and it's a point for Chisago Lakes, 15-13. Olivia Anderson to serve. Tarnowski with a dig. Hergengrader set back up. Romaley long on it again. And Chisago Lakes within a point. 14 will serve 15 in set number 4. 5'3" sophomore Olivia Anderson sent it across and long for a Mahtomedi Zephyr point. The Chisago Lakes fighting, clawing, scratching, keeping their hopes alive here in 2025. It's an even number set. That's what they do. Glazer back to serve. 16 will serve 14. Glazer across on a dig. Pushed over by Osmondson. Tarnowski gets to it on the near side. Romeli on the third hit, back over. And a dig is made by Friedner. Back here near pin. Blocked the line by Romeli. Great save by Glazer. And pushed over again by Bossert. Romeli looking for the kill. Couldn't do it. It's picked up by Friedner. Back on the far side. Larson tries a kill. Tarnowski sets, as does one other Zephyr. Block at the line. The joust is won for Mahtomedi. Hergenrader with the great block at the line. The rally continues for Mahtomedi, and it's Caitlin Glazer back to serve. Glazer in service. Osmondson. Carlson back over, and then kept alive by Romeli. Third hit pushed over by Hergenrader. Zapped along. Block just at the line. Good play made by Glazer. Back over. Tarnowski and Hergenrader were both going for the ball. It slips between the both of them. Point for Chisago Lakes. Glazer out. Cheney in. Likewise for Chisago Lakes. Carlson out. Mayer in. Mayer to serve. 15 serving 17. Cheney also to the bench in the place of the libero, Claire Carruthers. 15 serving 17. Tarnowski, Hergenrader, sent out across for Boniface. Johnson for the kill. 18-15, Zephyrs, set 4. Boniface Johnson to serve, 18 serving 15. Dig made there by Friedner. Back over. Larson long towards me, and it goes back out and over, and I'm on the headset. I can't get the ball. But a point for Mahtomedi. It's 19-15. Timeout on the court. The Zephyrs 6 points away from a 4th straight section championship. Don't be counting out Chisago Lakes quite yet. Just a 4-point game in the second set that saw a Wildcat rally, that saw the opportunity to close out a team. And we'll see just what happens here in what's remaining of this set. Again, other scores from around the Minnesota State High School League in terms of girls volleyball tonight. There are 29. You'll see it up here in our upcoming coverage for Suburban Community Channels. Friday we'll have football. Mahtomedi against Cretin-Durham Hall, a 7 p.m. kickoff. And remember that Mahtomedi Cretin-Durham Hall game, that home field in that game determined by a game at Palmer Field at O'Shaughnessy, where Cretin-Durham Hall had a furious rally, but Mahtomedi got out to an early lead, staved off Cretin-Durham Hall. But Mahtomedi themselves, they might be in for quite the dogfight on Halloween night against the Raiders of Cretin-Durham Hall. Nora Boniface Johnson back to serve. 19 will serve 15. Set number 4. 6 points to go. Back over. Larson off speed down, and a beauty at that. Point for Chisago Lakes. Substitutions to take place. McKenna Corris is back in for Mahtomedi. Service for Chisago Lakes. 16 will serve 19. Kayla Larson will serve. And as much as Mahtomedi counting down their points to win, Chisago Lakes keeping their hopes alive. Anderson set back over, far pin, tapped over. Great play made by Corris. Crothers keeps it alive again. Tapped over Romeli, and another good dig by Chisago Lakes to the far side by Larson. Back over Friedner with a beauty off the hands of Corris for the point for Chisago Lakes. Kayla Larson will continue the rally. 17 serving 19. Tarnowski. The ball that was sent down and then fisted over, and just in the field of play, a desperation point goes to the blue and gold of Mahtomedi. And just that desperation hit over by Hergenrader and right on the line. And no hesitation, no argument by Hannah Lindstrom. 20 serving 17. Larson with a dig. Friedner back here on the third hit by Weiger. Carruthers. Hergenrader looks to set. Tarnowski tap off speed down. 4 to go. Zahar Rameli will serve in a 4-point lead for Mahtomedi. Service error, 21-18. Back to go, and serve goes Chisago Lakes. Cave is in. And back to serve Eliana Taylor, 5'9" junior, 18 serving 21. Rameli into the net, kept alive, but whistle will blow, and a point to Chisago Lakes. Off the hand, then off the net of Zahar Rameli. And it's within 2, 21-19, fourth set. Taylor to serve. Allen across that one long. 3 to go. Claire Carruthers back to serve. 22 serving 19. Set number 4. Anderson set up. Cave at the line. It's 2. Time out, Chisago Lakes. The lead for the Zephyrs is 4. The requirement is 2. And Mahtomedi will be headed back to the state tournament for a 4th straight trip. Games going on elsewhere in the Minnesota State High School League. Roseville a 1-0 lead over Stillwater. That one in Class 4A, Section 4. That's 2 versus 1. Otherwise, other games, all the other games tonight are underway. Still nothing in terms of Benilde St. Margaret's and Delano. That tipped off. That should be about first, second set. Bloomington Jefferson and Apple Valley. That one in Section 6, 4A. That one should be about that second set as well. Big Lake Zimmerman, Casson, Manorville, and Northfield in Section 1 in Class 3A. Same too with Byron and Stewartville. And Farmington, Lakeville South. Nothing reported yet from those. Brothers to serve. This ball back across. Larson with a dig. Push back over for Mayer. Back to Carruthers. Tarnowski. Anderson keeps it alive. Push back over. Friedner at the line and down. 23-20 in favor of Mahtomedi, as the Wildcats will not go quietly. Wildcats to serve. Kiana Osmondson to do so. 20 serving 23. Rameli the dig. Back across. Tarnowski and found it seam right in the midfield. Off the arms of Carlson. Past to spinning Friedner. 1-2 play. Katie Hergenrader, whose rally started a Mahtomedi win in set number 1. Cave across, Anderson the dig, it finds a seam, and the Zephyrs find the buses to St. Paul once again. 4 straight section championships for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Another great joust by Mahtomedi. Right at the line. The well-executed effort defensively turning into offense leads to Mahtomedi to pick up the 4th set win as they win 25-12, 25-12, and 25-20, dropping only the second set to Chisago Lakes, 26-24 tonight. And again, I think that there were many, when you look at this on paper, you look at this matchup on paper, and you see two teams who have played each other 3 times. You consider as well the outcome of the first 2 meetings between these two, and you figure you might be in the way for a round. But anybody in this gym tonight knows that the way that Mahtomedi was able to advance was because of grit, determination, and resiliency for a Chisago Lakes team that gave them everything that they had. The Mahtomedi Zephyrs, the stars show tonight. Same too for Chisago Lakes, as both teams went back and forth in a gauntlet-style matchup. The score lines in set 1 and 3, maybe not as close as you would think, but the rally and the effort that both of these teams made here tonight, spectacular, stellar. But the unfortunate part of sports is that as much as you have a team that wins, unfortunately you also have a team that does not. And while arguably one team was just a little bit stronger tonight, one team will be headed to the state tournament in Class 3A. The effort, again, great by Chisago Lakes. The ability tonight, great by Chisago Lakes. As the Wildcats will look to make it to the state tournament next year, the effort and the potential for the Wildcats is all there in dark green and Vegas gold. But for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, they really ride on the strength of their outside hitters. Karnowski had a great night for Mahtomedi. On the opposite side of the court, Shaney had a great night. Boniface Johnson had a great night. Hergenrader, as a setter, had a great night. And it was that point right there that gives Mahtomedi another section championship, their 4th consecutive, from 2022 to now 2025. Medals will continue to be given out as Chisago Lakes will take their second place, their runner-up medals and trophies back home with them to Chisago Lakes. And awaiting the introduction of Mahtomedi as the champions and the victors of Section 4-3A, what figures to be an excellent, entertaining state field that will begin, well, in the not-too-distant future. For Mahtomedi, state tournament is next. Just a question of when, and it's just a question of who. Today's broadcast of Mahtomedi Girls Volleyball on Suburban Community Channels TV 19 was brought to you by all the kind people that make this broadcast happen. The camera operators today, Flora Schur, Ian Felix, and Seth Zommel. Our truck crew, Kenny Ronan, David Schuyler, Michael Cudahy, and Joe Sigourney. For everybody here at Mahtomedi tonight, I'm Alex Westhead. 3-1 Mahtomedi the winners. They head to the state tournament for the 4th consecutive time. You've been watching Mahtomedi Volleyball on there it is again on Suburban Community Channels TV 19.